Alright, we have a replay here from Cool Umbrella and Boojilicious. One of the classic matchups, Empire versus Bretonia. It goes back and forth who it favors, but it's always a mild favor at best, and usually considered quite an even matchup. Empire Knights can hold really effectively against most Bretonian Cav, but Questing Knights will chew through them. And Bretonian Cav can be cheaper in the Knights Errant variant. We will not see any Empire Cav, though. The Empire has gone for a very shooty-heavy build. We have 4 Pistoliers, Marcus Wolfheart with all of his abilities. We have 4 Huntsmen, Hammer of the Witches, and then a backline of Halberdiers, a frontline of Spearmen. So very anti-Cav build. We also have an Amber Wizard with only a Manticore summon. On the other side, we have the Companions of Quenel's Questing Knights plus another Questing Knights, but that is it for Bretonia's cavalry. I mean, the Mounted Yeoman Archers, the 4 skirmish cav they have, are technically cavalry, but they you know what I mean. They function very differently from Questing Knights or Grill Knights or Knights of the Realm, any of that stuff. So, only 2 heavy cav for Bretonia, none from the Empire. Sad days to be a cav fan. What is happening, though, is the Mantide. A bunch of Spearmen at Arms, Peasant Mobs, triple Battle Pilgrims, one of which is the Holy Wardens of Le Massatir. And we have a Damsel of Life with Dwellers Below and Earthblood, and Lewin Laneker up in the sky with, looks like, most of his abilities. Alright. Let's see how this goes. The skirmish should go pretty heavily in the favor of the Empire, because they have a cannon, and they have ground-based archers, and they have 4 skirmish cav as well, so the Bretonians are just outclassed as far as range goes. Infantry, there's a lot more Bretonians, but I'm nervous about them. I mean, like, Battle Pilgrims are okay. They're fine. Spearmen Arms are trash. Peasant Mobs are trash. Now, to be fair, it's not like the Empire frontline is stellar, but still. I don't know. I have a hard time putting my faith in the peasants of Bretonia. Let's see what these Questing Knights can do. 1 Mounted Yeoman Archer, 2 Mounted Yeoman Archers are already running away. And it looks like the Hammer of the Witches is shooting at, I don't know what. Doesn't have new orders yet. It probably needs to shoot at the Questing Knights. Lewin and the Damsel are hiding behind this giant pillar, so it can't shoot them, but still, you could shoot the Questing Knights, take them out a little bit at least. Pistoliers and Huntsmen are dealing with this last Mounted Yeoman Archer in the back, and the other Mounted Yeoman Archer is routing, so 3 of them have already been pushed off. The 4th is going. Bretonia's out of skirmish cav. The frontline fight has started. The Empire took only a Manticore caster, so unfortunately they do not have Burning Heads or anything, Dwellers Below, you know, Heaven's Magic, anything like that to clear out the massive Bretonian front lines, which will prove tricky for them later. Unless, like, the Spearmen just beat all these Battle Pilgrims, which seems unlikely. We already have 1 Peasant Mob breaking through, just disrupting the Huntsmen and being annoying, and Pistoliers do get caught napping a little bit as the Companions of Quenel's come in for them. Marcus Wolfheart throws down a net onto the other Questing Knights, and he himself is going to fire at them, while the Pistoliers also help out, and Huntsmen will turn for a point-blank volley, since they know they're not really going to get that far away, so might as well get some damage out, and get the damage out they do. Hammer of the Witches fired 1 brief shot towards, it looks like the Spearmen at Arms, but it is now refocusing on the Damsel of Life, who has pushed in. Companions of Quenel's are surrounded on all sides by units. They have Beastcaster, they have Huntsmen, they have Pistoliers, so not a lot of melee threats, but still just a mass of bodies they don't really want to deal with. Huntsmen are just drilling down on this Damsel of Life. She is not having a good time at all, and she's getting back here to do something. I imagine she's looking for a good Dwellers Below, but she stops for just a second. Manticore Summon is coming out in front of her, and she's getting shot from so many sides, she is going to break and maybe even shatter. Yes, she does. 0 gold value on her, and she will get killed off. So that is a huge loss for Bretonia. No magic for them this entire game. Now, Lewin did land and get a tear out onto the Hammer of the Witches, while some Battle Pilgrims assisted. And the Battle Pilgrims are really chewing through these Halberdiers when they had the Sword of Corone. Sorry, the Shield of Corone? What the fuck is that? It is the Sword of Corone. It's just shown as a shield emblem. Anyway, minus 24 melee defense on the Halberds was really hurting them, plus the minus armor. Last of the Questing Knights still fighting these Pistoliers, but the Manticore lands in the middle of them, and they are getting shot the entire time they do this stiff. Empire's quite ahead on the balance of power, and I would tend to agree. Companions of Quenel's are suffering a fate worse than death. Other Questing Knights are almost dead, and Lewin is full health. The front line of Bretonia is doing fine, though, and that is something to be concerned with. See if the Manticore caster can really do something there, but I think Burning Head would probably be better. Most likely. Spearmen at Arms versus the Spearmen with Shields. Spearmen with Shields are winning that slowly, but it looks like Battle Pilgrims have just pushed past them in most cases, except for the Holy Wardens of La Basatil, which are just fighting Sigmar Suds to death, and both sides are taking a lot of punishment. But so far, the Battle Pilgrims are doing alright. Lewin fights a Manticore until it fully passes away. Now he's landed in Halberdiers, and he's getting shot in the butt by Marcus Wolfhart, plus some Pistoliers, so he will regret that soon. Marcus Wolfhart charging up a big shot, and he delivers it right to Lewin's face. But Lewin will try to regen through that. He should overall be okay as he continues to chase down Marcus Wolfhart, who's no slouch in melee combat. 58-45 compared to 56-45 of Lewin, so actually Marcus has technically slightly better melee stats if there's no charge. Lewin will have to be careful in that engagement. Peasants and Battle Pilgrims continue to catching the Huntsmen. The Huntsmen do need to be pulled back to a safer position while other units cycle charge for them or just buy them a little bit of space. Lewin's getting hit in the butt by the Frail Manticore. He's taking a bunch of shots in the face from Marcus Wolfhart, and he dives into Halberds, but looks like he should just push through them easily enough and keep on Marcus. Meanwhile, the Companions of Quenelles take a nasty charge onto Halberdiers. That is a mistake they will not live to regret as they get just whittled down to nothing. It doesn't seem that they'll get out of here alive. Down to sub 600 health. Rest in peace. Lewin's not having a great time either, though he is capable of self-regeneration. And the Bretonnian front line is faltering. You can see the parts that haven't gotten through the front line are actually now behind their Empire counterparts. And the ones that have gotten through the front line, all their health bars are really low, except for these two peasant mobs. Well, this peasant mob, and then I guess these Battle Pilgrims are half HP, so good for them. Now, a nice thing... Whoa, that was bold, Marcus. A nice thing for Bretonnia is the second and final Manticore summon is out, so essentially this caster is worthless after that Manticore fades away. It's usually why you want to chuck at least a Flock of Doom on the Amber Wizard nowadays, because there's just so much more Winds of Magic in Warhammer 3 that you almost always get both your Manticore summons off, and you have a little bit extra. You just can't spend because you didn't take another spell. Wolfhart puts down a Hunter's Snare while running away from Lewin, trying to buy himself some time. He has taken a decent amount of damage. Looks like he's charging up some sort of big shot. It was the focus shot, but he did not quite get to finish it before Lewin lands back on him once again. Companions of Quenelles are back with 314 HP between 10 models. That's 30 HP-ish a model. They have been feeling better. Balance of power is still in, like, army losses territory against Bretonnia. And the Hammer of the Witches is back, though it looks like the crew is actually over here. The flag is just stuck on the Hammer of the Witches. Now, Lewin has almost completed sniping out Marcus Wolfhart, which is a pretty huge deal for them. Getting the Empire leadership to tank down and getting rid of that big sniping threat to Lewin could really turn the tide of this game. Because the Hammer of the Witches is the only other real armor-piercing threat, and without Marcus on the field, it's doubtful it has the leadership to come back at all. And remember, the Balance of Power is treating this Amber Wizard as an Amber Wizard with a bunch of spells and, like, a million Winds of Magic, but he's actually just some guy right now. Companions of Quenelles rally again on the far side. And the Bretonnian infantry are hanging in there. We do have still one very healthy Battle Pilgrim for 8 minutes into a game. And he's running over to help. And looking at it, I mean, if this Battle Pilgrim and Lewin team up, I think Bretonnia is probably fine. Because Lewin can't grind through infinite stuff, but if he can constantly cycle charge while the Battle Pilgrims sit and fight things, then he'll be just fine. Sniping out the Amber Wizard now, Lewin is really putting on a clinic, putting the world on his shoulders, and he will finish off the Amber Wizard as well. We do have a Huntsman rallying from the Empire, 2 Huntsmen in fact, but they have not been turned around, they have not been brought back to the fight. It looks like these Huntsmen might now be coming back together, but I'm not sure where they're going, so. Empire player dropping a couple routing units. Needs to re-rally them as soon as they come back. That Amber Wizard is toast. Can the brave Halberdiers of the Empire hold on and kill all of Lewin and this Battle Pilgrim? Or not? Spearmen at Arms going to get routed off, it looks like, by the Huntsmen. These other Spearmen at Arms will also rout when they get shot, and their buddy is routing right next to them, so they're not long for this world either. Let us see. Sword of Corone popped down onto these guys. You see the Halberdiers down to 18 melee defense. The Battle Pilgrims will just rip through them. And with a rear charge coming in from Lewin, they will tear out off any second now and get out of here. The Huntsman actually was not able to deal with the Spearman at Arms, who's now in melee combat with it. So, damn, Huntsman. You tried your best. It'll maybe beat back the Peasant Tide just by fighting them in melee, but it's going to take a lot of damage for that. Last, the Huntsmen are trying to rout off the Mounted Yeoman Archers who are right next to the edge of the map, chasing the Amber Wizard. If they rout, the Amber Wizard could rally, but it doesn't look like it'll be fast enough. He is pushed off just as they are pushed off. Tony is ahead on the balanced power for the first time all game. These Huntsmen didn't manage to push off the Spearmen at Arms, and Lewin is cycle charging with his Battle Pilgrim friends. A lot of things are routing. The Battle Pilgrims have just too much health and good enough stats to beat back the Halberdiers. It looks like army losses might take hold, and that is it. Lewin finally did his damn job. 2,400 for him, 1,300 on the Questing Knights ROR, 272 on the other Questing Knights, 0 on the Caster. Battle Pilgrims did tons of work. Mounted Yeoman Archers also did well. I guess one did well, the other 3 did not, but they were there. Spearman Arms did okay. Peasant Mobs did excellently. They all paid for themselves and more. Go Peasant Mobs. The other side, Marcus Wolfhart did fine. Great Cannon struggled. It struggled. It had some targeting issues, but also just cannons in Game 3 really are having a hard time. Amber Wizard, he's not going to show a lot of value from his Manticores, but I think he should have taken a Flock of Doom as well. Huntsman did very, very well. Halberdiers did fine. Pistoliers did okay. Not super great, but okay. And Spearmen did fine. Roar! Subscribe, yes, yes.